This video is really just gonna be a friendly reminder that sometimes bass just do not give a crap what you think. They don't care how much you know, they don't care about your past experiences. When you're dealing with a living creature, they don't always have rules that they follow. So no matter what you hear, no matter what we talk about on this channel, sometimes bass are just weird. And so in this video, I really want to talk about a few kind of examples of some things that just haven't really made sense at times for me, and things that have happened here even recently, like this year, things that have happened that they don't always make sense, and what you can do about that. Now, before we get into this video, this one is brought to you by Fin Fishing Apparel. It is the month of June, and I am running a special over on Fin Fishing, a package deal. Right now, if you buy a USA made sun shirt, which I have a bunch of different colors, you get an absolutely free rod glove. So this is a $10 value with the rod glove. I have both bait casting rod gloves and spinning rod gloves. And right now these are free with the purchase of a sun shirt. So it's real easy. I do not have an unlimited stock of the rod gloves. So you do need to select which rod glove that you want. So real easy. Add the sun shirt that you want to cart and the size, add the rod glove that you want to cart, and you will see that automatic discount at checkout. Shopping at Fin Fishing is truly the best way to help support this channel. I greatly appreciate all of you who have done so. All right, let's talk a little bit about a bass, because there's a lot of things when it comes to bass fishing that we understand about bass. We understand some of the whys. Like, I'm a guy that I personally always like to know why does something work? Why are we catching them on this versus that? Why are they responding to this bait better than they're responding to that bait? Why are they located in this depth of water? Why are they located near this piece of cover? I like to know the why when it comes to bass fishing. I think that that also helps you. But I remember listening to this quote a long time ago. I believe it was Brandon Polinick, a professional bass angler who has done extremely well over the years. He said that bass are where you find them. As simple as that. And really his sentiment behind that statement is that sometimes you can listen to the textbooks, you can read the textbooks, you can listen to every video out there of guys telling you where fish should be during this time of the day, during this time of the year, whatever it may be. You can do all that and you still don't get around the bass. Or for example, me here recently, there's been a couple of situations with the weather where I had big expectations going into a day and the weather changed for the better and things didn't work out. And for example, I'll just tell you, a few days ago, I was out on a local body of water, somewhat kind of looking around for some fish for a tournament, and I got on a decent bite, catching some big fish, and the weather was really sunny, and it was dead slick calm out there. I mean, dead calm, absolutely no wind at all. And a couple days later, we had this tournament, and I was really expecting things to be a lot better because there was going to be a slight breeze that night. And I don't want to say exactly what I was catching them on, but the technique that I was catching them on, typically you catch them better with a little bit of wind, especially when you have sunshine and wind. And so I'm like, I'm all about it. Like, I'm like, let's go. This is going to be awesome out there. And I tell you what, I fished this bait for hours during this tournament. I think I caught one fish on it, but they were just following this sucker. Like, multiple fish following it in the exact same situations where they would crush it on this slick, calm, sunny day just a few days beforehand. They just kept following the bait. And in my mind, I'm like, this literally doesn't make sense, because this is a technique that should be better with a little bit of wind. It should be better with a little bit of chop on the water. And yet it was the exact opposite. So if you look at all the textbooks, you would think, man, you're about to crush them out there, and you just don't. And so the point of me saying this is that when you start to see a pattern in a given time out there on the day, when you start to see things happening, for example, I noticed right off the get-go, like within probably 20 minutes of fishing that I had more followers in that 20-minute time frame than I had the entire day that I spent out there, which it wasn't that long, it was like 3 hours. But I had more followers in a 20-minute time frame than I had in 3 hours. And so right then and there, I really should have thought, man, I probably should switch things up. But my instinct was telling me, I guess not my instinct, my theory was telling me that like, this should be good. I should be able to go out there and catch them on this bait. And time again, I had follower after follower after follower on the bait, and it just didn't work out. And finally, freaking flea in my face, finally I decided to switch up baits to something a little bit different, and wouldn't you know it, it was an instant change in the bass's mood towards a lure. And within minutes, within seconds of me fishing a new bait, that I had some positive correlations with that bait, and I started catching some fish. And so it just goes to show you that, you know, you hear the Mike Iaconellis of the world talk about fishing the moment. I mean, you have Johnny Schultz, who has named his whole channel Fish the Moment. And you have Brandon Polinick saying bass are gonna be where you find them. You can read everything out there, you can listen to everything out there that you want to, and you can get a good idea of what you need to do when you get out there on the water. But truly listening and paying attention to the fish, their mannerisms, what they're doing out there on the water, whether you have a live scope in your boat or whether you're taking instinctual signs from maybe seeing the fish visibly, all those little things can help you in the moment. And they're really important to pay attention to in the moment. And what I have found over the years is that a single big fish, either negatively having a negative situation with a big fish or a positive situation with a big fish, gives you a lot of clues as to what you need to do. You know, I remember a number of years ago, I was fishing down, I was fishing this tournament, and I was primarily flipping and pitching the bank. And this is a tournament that I had practiced for a full day. And during the tournament day, I had a fish hit my bait as I was bringing it out of the water fairly quickly. You know, like I'm flipping and pitching, getting a few bites here and there, but as I'm bringing that thing out of the water, a fish nails it. And in my mind, this is a day I made a good decision. That one fish, I thought in my head, you know what? Maybe they want something moving today. It didn't really make sense for the time period that we were fishing for them to eat a moving bait. But that one fish, I said, you know what? Maybe they want something moving today. I picked up a square bill crankbait, started fishing it, and it was literally an instant change. And I ended up winning that tournament on a square bill crankbait. And so that's a time where I made the change, even though it didn't make sense. And I just thought about it. And it was all because that fish chased that bait right out of the water last second. I said, you know what? And the crazy thing about that whole story was that in the practice for that specific tournament, I had fished a square bill and had very few bites on it. Like a couple, but I'm like, this is not the deal. And the few that I got were not big, you know? And so I was like, I pretty much had actually put that particular rod in my rod locker. Like I was like, it's gonna be in there, but it's not the deal. And I thought flipping and pitching was gonna be the deal. And lo and behold, day of the tournament, that one situation, that one clue made me think a little bit differently, picked that thing back out of the rod locker and started catching fish, and the rest is history. So I just want you guys to know that it truly is about fishing in the moment, and that no matter what you hear and see out there or listen to, and I've already said this, it doesn't always matter if you can get those little clues out there in the water. Those are the best things that you can listen to help you catch more bass, at least for the rest of the day. Because guess what? It might change in an hour and it might change tomorrow. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think that it's a really important thing to remember. Also, don't forget to check out that fin fishing gear, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.